Hello, my dear learner. I welcome you to Hope Distance Education Program. I'm Asomani Asante, your science facilitator for the next 30 minutes. And I bring you one important topic from the GS syllabus for GHS, and the topic is solution. What is a solution? By the end of today's lesson, every learner will be able to explain the following terms. 1. Solutes. 2. Solvent. And 3. Solution. Again, you should be able to list at least 4 common solutions found in our homes. List at least 4 common solutions found in our homes. 3. Prepare common solutions when the need arises. 4. Identify the types of solutions and explain each of them. Identify the types of solution and explain each of them. What is a solution? What are the constituents of a solution? If you are supposed to prepare a solution, what do you need before you be able to make up that solution you want? The things you need to prepare your solution are going to be defined here. 1. Solute. What is a solute? What is a solute? A solute is a substance that dissolves completely in a solvent to form a solution. So any solid object or any solid substance that you put in a liquid, for it to be dissolved, is called a solute. And typical examples include salt, sugar, glucose, and paint. So a solute is a solid particle that can dissolve in solvents to form a solution. Now, what is a solvent? A solvent is the substance that dissolves a solute to form a solution. So the liquid parts in which you put the solid object or substance is called the solvent. And examples include turpentine, water, petrol, kerosene, and alcohol. And all these solvents are common around us. We see them in our homes and in our environments every day. Now let's look at certain solvents and the solutes that they can dissolve. We are looking at solvents and their respective solutes they can dissolve. So when we take a solvent like water, it can dissolve solutes such as sugar, milk, common salt, emulsion paint, fruit juice, and many others. We take alcohol. It can also dissolve plant pigments. So when you put green leaf in alcohol, it will extract the green color. So alcohol can extract the green pigment from plants, and that's the soluble substance it can also dissolve. Then we take something like kerosene. It can also dissolve substance like coal tar, grease, fats, etc. When we take petrol, it can dissolve a substance like candle, oil, grease, fats, and many others. Then we also come to a solvent like turpentine. It can dissolve oil paint. That's why our painters, when they are using oil paint, they normally use turpentine as a solvent to dissolve it. Now, what are soluble substances? Soluble substances are the solutes which can dissolve completely in a solvent. So any solid substance that you put in a liquid or a solvent and it dissolves completely, it does not leave any particle, then we call it a soluble substance. And if you put any solute in a solvent and it is not able to dissolve it completely, that solute is called insoluble substance. I hope it is clear to you now. Thank you. Now let's look at what a solution is. And a solution can be explained as a uniform or homogeneous mixture of a solute and a solvent. So whenever solid substance and liquid substance are being put together and the solute is dissolved completely, it gives us what we call a solution. So for example, you put sugar cube in water and it dissolves. At the end, we get what we call sugar solution. So for example, on your screen, we have a glass of water in which we have sugar particles. You leave it to stand for some few minutes, the sugar particles will dissolve and it will give us what we call sugar solution, as you can see on your screen. Examples of solutions include salt solution. This means that the uniform mixture exists between salts and water. We also have glucose. And you know what a glucose is. We normally use when we are having athletics to boost the energy of our athletes. So we put a glucose in water, it will dissolve and it will give us glucose solution. We also have what we call dyes. Dyes, where we dissolve certain colors in water. What should one look out from a solution that you prepare? And these are the properties of a solution. 1. Particles in a solution spread uniformly throughout. There is no way you will see certain particles moving in the solvent. The solute must spread uniformly, so you will not see that certain part is concentrated than any other part. 2. Solution is made of very tiny particles. The solute at the initial stage may be in large appearance, but after it has been dissolved in the solvent, the particles then become very tiny that you may not be able to see with your naked eye. 3. Solution does not scatter light. Unlike a mirror, when light bounces on it, it will reflect it. But there is no way a solution can bounce back light rays. So solution does not scatter light. Then 4, solution does not change when it passes through ordinary filter paper because the particles are very tiny. Now, we are looking at the types of solution. Types of solution. And there are three main types of solutions. There are three main types of solution that we are going to discuss here. And the three main types of solution are dilute solution, concentrated solution, and saturated solution. Now, what is a dilute solution? A dilute solution is a solution that contains less amount of solute as compared to the solvent. So here you prepare a solution, you take large amount of solvent and small amount of solute, then you have what we call dilute solution. It is called dilute solution because the liquid part is greater than the solute part. Now on our screen, we want to prepare salt solution. Here we have a glass of water and we only have 2 particles of salt to be dissolved in this water. So at the end of this solution, the saltiness of the solution will be very small because the salt particles are very small. Now, concentrated solution. Concentrated solution, as the name suggests, is a solution that contains relatively more solutes dissolved in a small amount of solvent. Now let's look at the illustration here. Here we are using the same amount as used in the dilute solution. And we can see that the quantity of salt particles to be used here is very great. There are a lot of salt particles to be dissolved in that same amount of water. And at the end of this solution, the saltiness of this solution will be greater. And we can call this solution concentrated solution. Now let's have the comparison. Look at the solutes under the dilute solution. Now look at the solutes for concentrated solution. You can see the difference. There is big difference between the 2 solutes. So at the end, the saltiness in dilute solution will be less as compared to that of the concentrated solution. The saltiness of the concentrated solution will be very high. So please take note, in concentrated solution, the solute is much more than the solvent involved in preparing the solution. Then let's look at the third type of solution, which is the saturated solution. Saturated solution. What is a saturated solution? Saturated solution is a solution that cannot dissolve any more solutes added to it at a room temperature. And take note, room temperature here refers to the temperature within which you prepare the solution. If the weather is cold, that is the room temperature for that time. If the temperature is warm, that is the room temperature for this time. So room temperature doesn't mean a temperature existing in a particular room, but it is referring to the temperature at which the solution is prepared. So we are saying that a saturated solution is the solution that cannot dissolve any more solutes added to it at a given temperature. So at the end of the solution, you see that there are some particles that we can see them moving in the liquid or moving in the solution. So in your home, let's look at how you can prepare a saturated solution using